Good evening, students. Am I audible? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming, students. Today is our day 2 of Python programming. Today is our day 2. So let's take a quick recap of what we have discussed yesterday. Let's take a quick recap of what we have discussed yesterday. Students, hope whatever we have discussed yesterday is clear to you. So can you please just let me know, any of the students that please raise your hands when the Python was conceived. When the Python was conceived. Good evening. Students, just raise your hands. When was the Python conceived? Yes, Praveen, please unmute yourself.
It is in 1980.
Very good. It was conceived in year 1980. And who was the father of Python? Who was the father of Python? Tell me, students, any of you? No problems. It's not Guy van Rossum, it's Guido van Rossum. Let's take a quick recap. Let's chat about it. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. So, as I've told you, Python is a general purpose, simple, platform independent, highly interpreted, and high level programming language. After that, we discussed about the kind of applications we can develop by using the Python. In that, we discussed that it is helpful in developing the websites, development of gaming applications, image processing applications, YouTube videos, web scraping, data visualizations, even the agricultural industry, CAD and CAM applications, animation, automation industry, computer vision, education programs, lot many. Okay, we can solve numerical and complex mathematical operations with Python as well. Now, when we talk about the history of Python, it was conceived in year 1980 and implemented in year 1989. But officially, it was released in 1991, February 20. So please remember this. This is something very basic. And it was developed by Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum was the father of Python and was developed at CWI, that is Centrum Wiskunde Informatica Institute in Netherlands. And if we talk about the predecessor language of Python programming is ABC programming language. Okay, just hold for a second. One student is asking me, after the class, I will share the payment link with you. I will share the payment link with you so that you can make the payment. Okay, will that be okay? Okay, fine. Let's go ahead now. Now, Python programming language, as I've told you, is managed and maintained by a non-commercial organization, that is PSF, Python Software Foundation. Hope you all have downloaded the Python from its official website, that is www.python.org. Very good. So, so versions of Python which MNCs are using, as I've told you, we have three versions: 1.x, 2.x, and 3.x. 1 is the major version, 2 is the major version, and 3 is the major version. After point like 1, 2, 3, they all are the minor versions. Now 3.12 is the latest version, although 3.10 and 11 is also working. All these are working, but 1.x is an outdated version, so it does not support the backward compatibility. So as I've told you, we recommend you to download 3.12 version from python.org. Now, then we started discussing about the features of Python. Features of Python. Features are what? They are the services or facilities provided by the language developers. Language developers or the programmers. We discussed that it is a simple, freeware and open source platform independent language, dynamically typed programming language. We discussed about it. So why, as I've told you, Python is inspired from the 4 different languages. That is, it has learned functional programming from C, object-oriented programming from C++, modular programming from Modulo 3, and scripting from Perl. Now, why is it called? The first feature, let's discuss about it. Why it is called simple? Because it has rich set of APIs. APIs are the libraries, which is also known as the application programming interface. This is the factor 1, why it is simple, and we can, because of its rich set of APIs, we can reuse the predefined code. We need not to write our own code all the time. We can always reuse the predefined code. That is why Python programming, Python applications are easy to develop. Second, it because of its garbage collector. Because of its garbage collector facility. What does the garbage collector do? It removes the unused memory space, which helps in improvement of the performance of Python-based applications. So garbage collector takes care about the automatic memory management. Third is its user-friendly syntaxes. Now, what are the syntaxes? Syntaxes, as I told you, what are syntaxes? Tell me, students. I've told you about it. What do we understand by the syntaxes? No response from your side. Syntaxes are equivalent to formulas. Okay. Yes. 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 Very good. So that the Python programmers can develop the error-free program in the limited span of time. Now, second is platform independent. Why it is platform independent? Because it can be easily downloaded from its official website. Sorry, it is platform independent language just because of its data types remains same on all types of OSs. Now, if in effective platform independent language, everything will be stored in the form of objects. Okay, and we can store whenever we store anything in the form of object, we can store unlimited amount of data. So Java object contains size restricted, whereas if we talk about the Python, we can save the unlimited amount of data in it. So now next is freeware and open source. I'm sorry. In the software, why it is freeware? Because it can be downloaded easily from its official website, that is www.python.org. Now, open source. And standard name of Python is CPython. Standard name of Python is CPython. Now, some of the companies vendors came forward and customized it according to their tools, according to their tools. Such customized versions are called the distributions of Python. Some of the distributions I've already mentioned, like if we are using for running Java-based applications, we are naming it as a JPython. Used for C#.NET application, they use IronPython, IPython, MicroPython, RubyPython, and Anaconda Python. Now we discussed about the static typed and dynamically typed programming language. Now, what do we understand by static type? Java is a static type language where they need to mention that what type of variable it is, like whether it is an integer type, whether it is a float type. But if we talk about the Python programming, we need not to mention it. We need not to mention it. We need not to specify the data type of the variable. So whenever we want to know, we just need to write type of value and we'll get it. Whether it is of integer type, where it is of class type or any type. Hope whatever we have discussed is clear to you till here. Is this clear to you still here, students? Some of the students are responding. Some of the students are sleeping in the class, I think. Students, please be active. Please respond so that I can understand that you're understanding it very well. Okay, very good. Now let's go ahead. Let's proceed. Let's proceed from the features of Python. Now, next feature is interpreted programming language. Students, when we talk about the interpreted programming language, is it a dynamically typed program because no need to specify the data type? Yes, it is dynamically typed program because we need not to specify the data type. Now, interpreted programming language, whenever we develop any program, Python program, we need to save the file with an extension that is .py. Please remember, every time whenever we save the file, we need to save it with the extension that is .py. Like if I want to save any program with addition value, like if I'm saving some program, I'm typing a program for addition, I need to save it with add.py. I need to give it a name, add or addition.py. So whenever we execute the Python program, two processes takes place internally. Now, what are those processes? One is the compilation process and second is the execution process. Now, what do we understand by compilation process and execution process? In compilation process, what happens is we are talking about features. We are talking about the features. Don't tell me features. Yesterday we were discussing about the features and they are continued, dear. Don't ask me that question. No problems. Okay, let's proceed. Some of the students are asking me that whether these are the features or the factors. Students, we are discussing about the features. So please be constant. So please concentrate in the class. Now, as I've told you that whenever we execute the program, the Python program, two processes take place. One is the compilation process and the execution process. Now, what happens is, whenever in the compilation process, the source code submitted to the Python compiler and it reads the source code, check for the errors by verifying the syntaxes. And if no errors found, then Python compilers convert it into the intermediate code called bytecode with an extension that is .pyc. This is an internal process. This is an internal process. Please remember this. Okay. It is saved in the form of extension file name .pyc. And if the error is there, then the error will be displayed on the console. In execution process, what happens is the PVM reads the Python intermediate code. What is the intermediate code? The bytecode. The bytecode. Right? And line by line and convert it into the machine understandable code that is executable or binary code, and it is read by OS and finally gives the results. Let me show you with the help of diagram. See, this is the execution program. Now what happens is this is a source code. I have saved one file with the name of sum.py. Now compilation process takes place. It reads the source code line by line, okay? And this is a compilation process here. And in case, if some error is there, then it will display the error. If no error is there, it will be saved in the form of .pyc, that is a bytecode. This is an intermediate code, that is sum.pyc. After that, the execution, if no error found, then the execution process takes place. What happens is PVM reads it line by line, and convert it into the machine understandable format, that is a binary code, and read by the OS and gives the result. Is this clear to you, students? Have you understood the compilation process and the execution process? Any questions still here? Any questions still here? No questions. Okay, let's proceed further. Let's proceed further. Now, see, in Python program, execution, compilation process and execution process is taking place line by conversion, and it is one of the interpretation-based programming language. Okay, now what do we understand by PVM? We have learned the PVM reads the Python intermediate code and converts it into the machine understandable language. Now, what do we understand by PVM then? PVM is a Python virtual machine. Python virtual machine is one program in Python software whose role is to read line by line the bytecode and convert it into the machine understandable language and executable or binary code. Let me show you one program. Okay, let me show you one program so that you will understand it. Let me show you. Just a second. Okay. See, this is one of the program I have already written. This is not your program. Let's go ahead. This is the program I have already written. Now, this is a program. Now, what happens is internally, the compilation process takes place. It saves the file. By the .pyc extension. Later on, although I have saved this file with the name of add.py or sum.py. Okay, whenever we save the file, the compilation process, then when the execution process takes place, when I'll run this program, I will get the answer in the format in which the end user will understand it. Which the end user will understand it. Is it clear to you now? Is it clear to you, students? Some of the students were asking me, can you please explain it in other language? Is it clear, students? I have shown you in the format of diagram also. I have saved the file with the .py extension. Compilation process takes place. It reads the source code line by line. Internally, it will save it in the form of bytecode, that is sum.pyc. Then the execution process takes place. Okay, it reads the bytecode. It reads the bytecode line by line, convert it into the machine understandable format. We all know what is a format do the computer understand? That is a binary format. Okay, and later it gives the result. Is this clear? Any doubt, students? You can ask me right now. No doubt. No doubt. Very good. Let's proceed further. Let's proceed further. Now, why it is called a high-level programming language? Students, when we talk about, in general, we have two types of programming language. One is low-level programming language and second is high-level programming language. Now, what is the difference between the low-level programming language and the high-level programming language? Low-level programming language in which we represent the data like binary, octal, or hexadecimal. This is the data which is not understandable by the program. Do you people understand the binary language? Do you people understand the octal language or the hexadecimal? No. So the programming language which gives the result in the binary, octal, or hexadecimal data, which is not understandable by the end user, is a low-level programming language. Okay, but if we talk about the Python, it will automatically convert it. It will automatically convert it into the, it will automatically convert it into the end user understandable language. End user understandable language. That is why it is called the high-level programming language. End user programming language is what? End user programming language is what? It is the decimal number system data. Let's go ahead and understand with the example. Let's go ahead and understand with example. Let's go to the Python. Now, I'm saying A is equal to 0B 1010. Now, this is a binary format. 0B is a binary format. Now, if I write print A, I'll get the answer in the decimal format, which is understandable by the end user. Which is understandable by the end user. Let me write A is equal to 0B. Let me write the bigger value. Now, print A. So it has converted it into the decimal format, which is understandable by the end user. Is this clear to you? It is a binary format. That is why we are using 0B. If I want to go ahead with the octal data like A is equal to 0O 2156. Now print A. See, this is 1134. The original value of 0O2156 is octal data 1134. Now, let me write A is equal to 0x, that is hexadecimal, 0x, let me write FACE. Now, print A, it says 64206. How to calculate? Yes, some of the students are asking me how to calculate this. I will tell you. I'll tell you each and everything. Students, don't panic. When we'll talk about it, we'll definitely, I'll let you know. And right now we are talking about the feature, so that I'm telling you why it is called the high level programming language. Don't you worry. I'll teach you that decimal number system also. So is this clear till here to everyone? Why it is the high level programming language? Is this clear to everyone? Students, please respond. Very good. Very good. Now let's go ahead. It is a robust language. Why it is a robust language? It is robust because of its exception handling. Now, what is exception handling? Exception is runtime error. Whenever we run the program and we are getting the error, that is known as exception. So, exception, what happens is exception by default generates the technical error messages. Okay, and converting those technical error messages into user-friendly error messages is called the exception handling. Okay, if the Python program uses exception handling, that is the only reason it is known as the robust language, because it converts the technical error messages into user-friendly error messages. So exceptions is what? It is a runtime error of the program. Okay, let's go ahead. Extensible language. Now, why it is extensible? The Python programming gives its programming facilities to the other languages also. C++, which means the Python code can also be written in other languages, that is C++ also. So that is why it is known as the extensible programming language. Now, embedded. Python programming can call the other languages coding segment for fastest execution. It also calls the other languages coding segment for its fastest execution. So Python code can call this, like Python program can call the C programming code also. So that is why it is embedded. Extensive support for the third. Exception handling means runtime error. No, exception handling means, one student is asking me that exception handling is runtime errors. No, exception is a runtime error. Exception handling means converting the technical error messages into the user-friendly error messages. Okay. Now, extensive support. Extensive support for third-party APIs. As Python libraries or APIs can do many tasks and operations and but it is unable to perform the complex operations. To solve the complex operations easily, it uses the third-party APIs. Now, what are those? Like NumPy, it used for numerical calculations. Pandas is an analysis tool. Matplotlib is used for data visualization. Such It uses the SkyPy, Skykit also. Now with this, we are done with the features. With this, we are done with the features. Any questions regarding the features, students, you can ask me. You can ask me. No questions? So let's go ahead and understand the identifiers. Let's start the new topic, identifiers and literals in Python. Now, literals in Python means values passing to the Python program. Like we can write any Python program and we must enter some inputs, and whatever inputs we are making are called the literals or values. So while writing any Python program, whatever input we are making, that is also called the literals or the values. So all types of values are called the literals. Okay. In Python programming, we have 5 types of literals. 5 types of literals. Integer literal, floating point literal, str, boolean, and collection literals. So how many types of literals do we have? Integer, floating, str, boolean, and collection literal. Now identifiers. What are identifiers? What are identifiers? Identifiers they are also known as the variables. So whenever we make an input or write a literal, they are stored in the main memory. They are stored in the main memory by allocating sufficient amount of memory space with the help of data types. Okay. So what does it do? They are stored in the main memory by allocating sufficient amount of memory space with the help of data types. Now, in order to process the data, which was stored in the main memory as a programmer, we must do some distinct name. We need to give some distinct name, and these names make us to identify whether the values, what type of values are stored in the main memory space. Okay, so these names which we give to the values which are stored, which help us in identify the values stored in the memory space are called the identifiers. So the values of identifiers are changing or verifying during the program execution. And hence, identifiers are also known as variables. So all type of input or literals must be stored in the form of variables. So all types of variables are called objects. Now, is this clear to you? Is this clear to you? Now, what is literals? What is identifiers? And what are objects? So whatever the variables, all types of variables we store are called the objects. As I've told you in the starting of session, that everything will be stored in the form of objects in the main memory of Python. Is this clear to you? Is this clear to you, students? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Now, what is the definition of variable? A variable is an identifier whose values can be changed during the execution of the program. Now, rules of using identifiers or variables in Python program. If we want to use variable in Python program, we need to follow some rules. Now, what are the rules? The variable name is a combination of alphabet, digit, and a special symbol underscore only. Please remember that it is a combination of alphabets, digits, alphabets, digits, and a special symbol underscore only. No other special symbol is used. The first letter of variable name must be start with an alphabet or underscore. Or underscore. Next, let me show you. Let me show you with the help of example. That will be helpful. Let's go ahead. Like I'm saying A is equal to, if I write 1 ABC, I'll get the error. I'll get the error, invalid decimal literal. But if I write A is equal to ABC1, that is C. It is not defined. Name ABC is not defined. Okay, just a second. Let me write A is equal to underscore 23 Aditya. Why I am getting this error? Because it is not defined here. See, now I'll show you here. The variable name is always a combination of alphabet, digits, and special symbol underscore. First letter of variable name must be either with an alphabet or underscore. Now, if I write like this, I'm writing a variable like ABC is equal to 21. It is acceptable. If I write underscore ABC is equal to 21, it is also acceptable. But if I write 1 to ABC is equal to 21, we'll get the error. We'll get the error. Now, because we are identifying, now if I'll write C underscore A is equal to underscore A is equal to 21. It is accepted. Now I'm using hash. Sorry, not hash, dollar. Dollar $A is equal to 21. We get the error. We'll get the error. What type of error? That is a syntax error. Why? Because it can be the combination of alphabet, digit, or underscore, but it should always start with the alphabet or the special symbol underscore only. Any other symbol will not be accepted. Will not be acceptable. If I'll use hash 21 or ABC is equal to 21, it is acceptable. Why? Because a hash is a symbol which is used for commenting purpose. Hash is a symbol which is used for commenting purpose. You need to remember this, students. This is something very important. Okay. Hash is a symbol which is used for special symbol. Like 1ABC, this is invalid. Salary 123, this is valid. Underscore is sal is equal to 4.5, this is valid. I have given all such examples, which is acceptable. Now, no special symbols are allowed within the variable name except the underscore. And hash is used for commenting purpose. Hash is used for commenting purpose. Now, let me show you one more thing. Why? Because I have taken the variable name. Here, I have taken the variable name. See, variable name is A. Variable name is A, which is acceptable. But if we are writing like this, underscore 23, that it is not acceptable. We need not to define it. We need to define it. Like if I write A is equal to Aditya. Now it is acceptable. Why? Because this is a str value. See. Clear? I'll explain it to you. I'll explain it to you. Don't you worry about it. Now, even if I'll write employee salary is equal to 4.5, this is acceptable. But if I'll use employee space sal is equal to 4.5, sorry, 4.5, it is not acceptable. Why? Because space is a special symbol here. If I'll write employee hash sal is equal to 3.6. Now, see, employee is not defined. Now, if I'll write print employee sal, it is 4.5. It is 4.5. See, now I have shown such examples here. I have already wrote such examples here so that it will be easier for you. See, sal hash employee is equal to 56. Sal 45 will be printed. If we wanted to know, it will be printed. Why? Because no special symbol is allowed. Now, no keywords to be used as variable name. No keywords like else and if. If we talk about if and else, these are the special keywords. Even if we want to write something with if or else, that is not acceptable, although it is an alphabet. E is an alphabet, I is an alphabet. If we write underscore if is equal to 56, that will be valid. But if we directly write if and else, that will be not acceptable because they are the keywords. Let me show you. If I write else is equal to 45. See, invalid sentence. If is equal to 45, invalid syntax. Right? Now, underscore if is equal to 45, it is acceptable. Clear to you guys? Why it is considered else one? Else one, because only else and if are the keywords here. Else and if are the keywords. Else one is not a keyword. Clear? Now, all variable names are case sensitive. All variable names are case sensitive. Like, so keywords not to be supposed to used as a variable name. No, we cannot use the keywords as a variable name. All variable names are case sensitive. Age is equal to 19. Age is equal to 20. This is also valid. Age, if we write like this, like I have written, it is also valid. If we write like this, this is also valid. Okay. So all these are case sensitive. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. It is always recommend to take the user-friendly variable name. Like if I write total salary of an employee is equal to 45. Although it is valid, there is no such special symbol in this is there, but it is not recommended. So we should always use the variable name which is user friendly. So we can write like this also. Total underscore sal underscore employee is equal to 45. This is acceptable also, this is valid also, and recommended also. Don't write such variable name which is difficult to understand. Clear to you guys? Clear to you guys? Very good. Let's go ahead. Okay. So next session will be on data science. Next session will be on data science. Do we have any questions till now, students? Do we have any questions? Please raise your hand, students, if you have any. No questions. Do we have anything to practice after today? Yes, I've pasted both the today, tomorrow onwards, we'll discuss in the PDF format. I'll be sharing all these with the paid candidates. So you need to practice all that, whatever we have discussed in the class. Please try to practice it on your own in the Python software. Will you be able to do that? Okay. One of the students is asking me, Manjunath, okay, is asking me, ma'am, are you assigning the daily task? See, whatever we are discussing in the class, if you'll keep on practicing that only, that will be helpful for you. After reading the class, after discussing in the class, if you people will leave and next day when you'll come, you will definitely forget it. You will definitely forget it. You won't be able to remember it. See, today also, even I was asking the questions about name of the uh, father of the Python. You forgot that. You forgot that. So whatever we are discussing, you need to practice every day. You can add your own content also in that. Okay? You can use the different variables names. No need to go like this only. Just try to do something new on your own. Okay? And in case you feel you'll get any error, just let me know. I'll help you out with that. Okay? You can always mail me. Okay, kindly share the link to make me the payment to make you the payment. Just hold for a second, students. I will share that with you. Just hold for a second, please. Students, just be with me. I'll be sharing the payment link. I'll tell you, dear, I'll tell you, just please hold for a minute. Let me share the payment link with the students. Okay. I'm sharing, yes. Yes, I'm sharing this with you guys. I'm sharing this with you guys. Can you see that? Have you got that? Just please note down this payment link. You can make the payment with this link now. Yes, now let me know any questions if you people have. Ma'am, else and if, what kind of keywords are these? I'll tell you. I'll tell you, don't you worry. Once we'll start with the programming, I'll tell you about it. Okay? Any other questions? Any other questions? Please let me know. No questions. You can make through any of the options. You can make the payment on mobile or laptop. Both the ways you can make the payment. Whichever is comfortable with you guys, you can make the payment through that. So hope whatever we have discussed in the class is clear to you. Hope whatever we have discussed in the class is that clear to you. Students, I request you, please recommend your friends and family members to join the group, As I've shared the WhatsApp group link also yesterday with you guys. I have shared the WhatsApp group link also with you guys. You can share it with them. They can also visit us on Facebook. They can also join our Telegram group. They can join us on YouTube and Instagram also. Okay, just share it with your family and friends also so that they can also contact us. If you're actually understanding the class, so do let your family and friends know. I'm going to start one new batch from 20th of November also in the morning, that is 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time, IST. Okay, 6 a.m. in the morning from 20th of November, I'm going to start a new batch. So please recommend your family and friends also. Fee paid, Praveen. Okay, fine. That's fine. Okay, with this, we are done with the session today, students. With this, we are done with the session today. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Good night. Take care of yourself. Goodbye. Yes, I'll be uploading the notes. It will be, I'll be uploading the notes, but students who have paid the fee will get the notes. Okay? Paid students will only get the notes.